The doctor's hands weren't just unsteady, they quivered with the unmistakable tremor of fear. It wasn't fatigue, it wasn't age, it was terror. Without a word, he turned the monitor away from me as if trying to shield me from what it displayed. When he finally spoke, his voice was tight, strangled, barely above a whisper. "Leave this hospital. Go home. File for divorce." The words collided in my head without order, without sense. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my throat suddenly dry. His eyes flickered toward the door, like he expected someone to burst in at any second. "There's no time to explain," he said. "You'll understand when you see." He rotated the screen back toward me. The world seemed to still. Even the faint hum of the overhead lights sounded like it stopped. On the monitor was my daughter's ultrasound profile, except there, etched along her spine, was something impossible to dismiss. Not a random mutation, not an accident. It was deliberate, distinct, and devastatingly familiar. Recognition hit me like plunging into ice water. I couldn't speak. Couldn't even draw breath. I didn't blink. I just walked. Out of that room. Out of that building. Out of the life I thought I understood. The cold evening air hit my face, but my thoughts were colder still. There had been whispers before, rumors of her cheating, shadows of suspicion. I'd ignored them all. She always had explanations, late nights at work, sudden errands, her phone always in her grip like a weapon she'd never relinquish. I told myself that trust was the foundation of marriage, not constant questioning. But trust is fragile. It only takes one fracture for the entire illusion to splinter. And now that image of her spine burned inside my mind. The mark, the undeniable sign of another man's bloodline. Every memory rewrote itself in my head. Every touch we shared, every whispered promise, now tinged with a different meaning. Her smiles looked rehearsed. Her silences seemed calculated. I didn't confront her. Not then. Shouting is for the reckless, for those who need chaos to confirm their suspicions. I chose silence instead. Silence sharpens suspicion into certainty. At home, I watched, not her face, but her habits. I learned the rhythm of her texts, the calls she'd slip away to take, the way her voice sank half an octave when she lied. Quietly, I ordered a DNA test kit, delivered in discreet packaging. I tested myself first to ensure accuracy. Then I waited. One morning, while she showered, I gathered what I needed, a stray hair from her brush, an item she'd never noticed missing. Days stretched into an eternity. Nights became long vigils, listening to her even breathing beside me, haunted by the chasm between the woman in my bed and the stranger she had become. Outwardly, I played my role. I cooked dinner. I drove her to appointments. I held her hand in public. Beneath the surface, I dismantled her world detail by detail. Because the truth hides in the smallest details, and I was learning to read them all. The envelope came without warning. No letter, no sound. Just truth sealed in paper. The results confirmed what my heart already knew: the child wasn't mine. My pulse didn't spike, my hands didn't tremble. Betrayal doesn't shock when you've already felt its weight. That night, I placed the report on the kitchen table. No words. No confrontation. Just evidence, heavier than any scream. She walked in, saw the papers, and froze. "What is this?" she asked, her voice splintering. Her eyes searched mine, desperate for forgiveness. I offered none. Her lips stumbled over excuses, wild, absurd fabrications that collapsed under their own impossibility. I stayed still. Emotionless. Detached. Because once the truth breathes, love dies quietly. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't curse her name. Instead, I slid my phone across the table. On its screen, every deleted text recovered, every secret meeting mapped, every lie pinned and exposed like an insect beneath glass. Her breath caught, color drained from her face. She whispered my name like a plea. I rose, took my coat, and spoke with finality. "Explain it to the lawyer." It wasn't a threat, it was a verdict. Her knees weakened as I walked past. She reached out, her fingertips cutting only through air. I didn't flinch. The deepest revenge isn't fury. It's absence. I left that night, not with rage, but with clarity. The street outside was washed in pale light, quiet and still. My breath rose in steady clouds, controlled and calm. Behind me, her carefully constructed world collapsed. Ahead of me lay something new, scarred, yes, But mine. People think betrayal destroys you. They are wrong. Betrayal carves you into something stronger. It strips away illusions until only bone remains. And bone does not break easily. I never saw her cry like that again. I never cared to. Because the cruelest ending isn't vengeance or blood, it's handing someone the merciless truth like a mirror and walking away without looking back. Love ended on that screen. But clarity began there too. And clarity, I've learned, is the sharpest blade I will ever wield.